Good morning everyone! For today, I decided to further improve my table saw skills and make a cutting board. I bought 2 pieces of wood, not sure what they were, but I'm guessing maple and ash wood maybe? It was from a garbage pile and cost me a grand total of 40 Canadian rubles. First order of business was to cut the pieces of wood to size, so that's what I did. Watching this video, I'm actually realizing how lucky I am to still have all my fingers. My god, this is horrible and unsafe! After the pieces were cut, I proceeded to glue them together. My son was quite helpful with this task actually. At first I didn't have clamps long enough, so I glued 2 separate pieces. Then I got my larger clamps in the mail and I glued everything together. That's what you see me doing here. Probably not the best way to go about it, but I didn't have long clamps, so I just did it this way. Once the glue dried up, I ended up cutting the board again in a checkerboard pattern. You can see it slowly happening on top of my table saw over there. I'm actually very happy to see it come together in the footage now that I look at it. Following that, I did the final glue up and my cutting board was ready to receive some cosmetic fixes and final touch-ups. Unfortunately, I did not have a fancy planer to plane the board, so instead I used my Bosch hand planer. I have to say, it didn't turn out so bad, although the planer generated far too much wood shavings. First time I ever used the planer, and honestly I did not expect this much. When I used the planer, I realized that it completely destroyed the ends of the cutting board. Although it was smooth and straight in the middle, the ends were complete garbage. So I sawed the edges off the board and then I proceeded to add a 45-degree angle to the bottom of it so it is much easier to grab when you wanna lift it off the table. Then I used my router table to make the top edges of it nice and rounded. I could have used the sander to make the ends rounded, but the router does a more consistent job of it. And this is where the disaster struck. I wanted to add juice grooves to my cutting board. Unfortunately, I didn't know how to cut the said grooves. So I tried to use router's straight edge tool. That was a total waste of time and money. The tool is total garbage and I don't think that it should be used for this application. Maybe there is better uses, maybe I'm using it wrong, but I did not like it and my board got ruined. So 2 sides are ruined, the other 2 sides I managed to take it slow and easy and safe. So I went ahead and cut the destroyed sides off. Then I re-added the 45-degree angle to the bottom and I tried to add the remaining 2 grooves again. Thankfully this time I really took my time and slowly and steadily managed to get the whole thing working. After that I rounded the newly cut sides and my board was ready. After applying some salmon cutting board oil to it, it's actually made here in Canada, Ontario, I was pleasantly surprised by how the colors popped out, not to mention the oil smells absolutely delicious. I still am quite unsure why this cutting board ended up having patterns that you see before you. They do look quite pretty, I have to say, but I just don't know how did this happen. Additionally, now that I have looked at the footage of me making this board, I realized that I'm very lucky to have all my digits intact. Feel free to roast me on how unsafe I was being, it is very well deserved here, I can't believe I did this. Overall though, for the first board made and for the 3rd time of me using this table saw, I have to say I'm quite happy with the results. I really did enjoy making it, it looks quite cool and I'm falling more and more in love with woodworking. Thanks so much for watching guys. If you enjoyed it, please feel free to leave a like and maybe consider subscribing for more content like this. I hope you have a wonderful weekend and a great morning and an amazing rest of the day, and I will see you next Saturday. Bye bye!